if there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. Oh, if you have the will and the moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there.
As we start this walk, you can be forgiven for not realising that a bloody battle once took place here. The landscape of Scotland has, over the centuries, witnessed many a bloody encounter. Some of these battlefields are still remembered today, while a few, like Bannockburn and Culloden, are marked by monuments and interpretation centres. Sadly, many more have been lost to modern development. Others have simply been forgotten. The Battle of Linlithgow Bridge has suffered to a degree on both counts. Parts of the battlefield are today covered with houses, and although many people have some idea of what happened at Bannockburn and Culloden, very few have even heard of the Battle of Linlithgow Bridge. The Battle of Linlithgow Bridge was a product of the power vacuum created by the death of James IV at Flodden in 1513. His young son, King James V, was kept a virtual prisoner by his self-appointed guardian, Archibald Douglas. Meanwhile, the king's mother, the Dowager Queen Margaret, made a number of attempts to release him. The most dramatic of these resulted in the Battle of Linlithgow Bridge on September 4th, 1526. The Queen's forces of over 10,000 men, led by the Earl of Lennox, marched on Edinburgh. The advance was stalled at Linlithgow Bridge by a force of around 2,500 men, led by the Earl of Arran. In the ensuing action, the larger force, having crossed the River Avon, not by the bridge, but somewhere near Manuel Convent, got jammed in a bottleneck between the river, marshy ground, and the high ground upon which Arran's men were arrayed. The arrival of the pro-Douglas reinforcements from Edinburgh sealed the fate of the Lennox's army, and upwards of 3,000 men died in the ensuing slaughter. Lennox himself was captured and murdered by James Hamilton of Finnart. As we leave the old battle lands behind, we cross the Avon Aqueduct on the way to Muiravonside Country Park. This magnificent masonry aqueduct carries the Edinburgh and Glasgow Union Canal east to west over the River Avon. It's the second longest aqueduct in Britain, after the Pontsclwt Aqueduct in the Vale of Llangollen in Wales. Both were designed by Scotsman Thomas Telford in association with other engineers, and both remain in use. The aqueduct is 247 metres long, 25.9 metres high, and 7.2 metres wide. It has 12 segmental arched spans of 15.2 metres, each built to a standardised construction with hollow spandrels, as was the characteristic of Telford's designs. After we cross the aqueduct, we turn right and head down into the country park. The park forms part of the River Avon Heritage Trail past the historic Avon Aqueduct and relics of industry and farming, including a lime kiln, hydro-powered sawmill and restored listed 17th century ducat. The old home farm now forms the visitors centre. The new park's farm has been transformed into an animal attraction with many breeds of animals and birds. Over 90 species of birds have been recorded at the park. After enjoying a short respite at the country park, we trace our steps back over the aqueduct before turning off to follow the River Avon back to the start of our walk.